Good afternoon. My name is Lauwz Cloud. I'm master in cybersecurity student at Grand Canyon University. Today, I will begin a presentation regarding cloud computing. So I will go over all the different aspects of cloud computing. I also have a couple slides here. Let me just here that we basically will go over. So basically, it's a presentation in regard to cloud computing. So to begin, I said that would be the future. So cloud computing is the most fastest growing system for businesses and also for personal use. It's basically it's complete. It's changing the IT infrastructure completely. In regard to that, so the first step on the cloud in regard to the cloud computing, there's three type of service that someone that you could break it down into three categories. You have the SaaS, the PaaS, and the AS, and I will basically break all this down and explain each component in regard to that. So first, we're gonna start with the SaaS. The SaaS, its function. So SaaS is a model for delivering software where multiple users can't access it remotely. So it's basically something you can access remotely through the internet. Any device, app in detail, any internet connection device may access the cloud using the SaaS function, and you could deploy this to your any PC. It's a cloud store app data is also protected against PC or if there's any failure within the PC. You can obtain access to very innovative programs through the ads. The service automatically adjusts. So basically, let's say if a company is using this type of system, it could allocate how much use that is in need based on the business need. So basically, you could adjust what you need based on your business need to the as function. SaaS program may be operated on a web base, as I explained. We don't have to install anything, which means, like, for example, you can access the web and you could be able to you'll be able to utilize their services through the web. And again, this is something that a company can purchase, and most of the aspect of it is managed by the vendor. Is managed by the vendor, which is actually will save the company times and also money, because the fact that you have the ability to adjust your usage, and you basically pay for what you actually need, not where in the past where you build big infrastructure and you may not even need that much. You may not even need the amount of space or whatever that you purchase. With this, you could allocate it and adjust it based on your need. That's basically what the SaaS provides. And the next one is the PaaS. So the PaaS is a platform service that provide access cloud-based development deployment environment with all tools you need to build something. It's basically based. So the PaaS is more for builders it's basically, as I said, you can access the cloud-based development, and you have all the tools in there. You could build whatever you need, which is an application, whatever that a developer may need to use. It is also support app creation, testing, fast development, private or public maintenance, updating, and it's fast to deploy onto the market. That's one of the thing that the PaaS provides. And it encompasses servers, storages, network development tools. You can update database management system and more. The PaaS basically eliminate the need to buy and manage software license application infrastructure and the middleware. So all these things, for example, like Kubernetes, so all those different things are managed by the vendor. That's another form where if a company developer is using this type of tool, it's also saving money that way. So, and also the fact that you could deploy whatever you create in a fast in a fast way to the market, to whoever you need to get it to, who to sell it to, or whichever. That will be the PaaS. That's what one of the main things that the PaaS provide to the cloud computing infrastructure. And then the last one here is called the IaaS. It is IaaS. Maybe I'm not saying it wrong. IaaS, which stands for Infrastructure as a Service. It is a subnet of the cloud computing that gives users access to on-demand essential database compartments, such as server, storage, and network in a virtual environment. So you provide all these things in a virtual environment. You don't have to set up and manage your own server database, and it is very flexible for businesses, users, and companies. Users can manage their own infrastructure and software, including operating system, middleware, and application, but the rest could be managed by the vendor. As the same thing as these, most of these, as you can see, a lot of it is managed by the vendor. The apps provide increased developer experience by setting up, managing servers, but it also does come with some security concerns. That's one aspect when it comes to the as. Service oriented. Now, in regard to deployment, there's different type of deployment. So you could have a public, you have a private, public, and a hybrid cloud architecture. So, for example, the private cloud architecture, the service is done in the house. So basically, everything is done in house. Resources are shared among the people in house, and also that also help in regards to security when it comes to sensitive data. This method is often better executed when a company is big enough that it actually need that much resources. Would make sense when it comes to batches. Wise, a smaller company can't do this. A bigger company has the ability to do that. It also have the budget and the finance for it to be able to do something with it in house. That's what that will become if using a public cloud infrastructure. It provides service. It's maintained off-site via the internet. So a company is at the ability to access these services via the internet. This method can be streamlined workflow calibration. It helps with even when we go to remote working. So employees and business have the ability to calibrate an application and many users to emails, making sharing resources more efficient. But there are also some risks when it comes to using the internet, as we all know, being in cybersecurity. There are some vulnerability in regard to using using the internet, which is a public space. I have a company working on that. It does make sense when it comes to calibration, when it comes to projects where you could collaborate in that aspect. Or you could have something what is technically called a hybrid. A hybrid include combination of private and public. This offering provide efficiency with public cloud and security with private cloud, but the company must manage numerous platforms, which means you do in a way now you're gonna have to manage more when it comes to having both type, which is a private and a public, which makes it the hybrid could make more sense. For example, you could use a SaaS app wide priority security. So in that way, so you could have a hybrid or a private. That's one thing I wanted to cover when it comes to that. However, on all these things, there are security issues that also arise by using the cloud computing system. So let's cover. Oh, before we get to that, there's also a requirement that is required for some for the cloud to be able to be function. So let me just go over some of this some of the requirements. So the efficiency and responsiveness of the cloud environment depends on a dynamic control plane feature at all levels of the cloud infrastructure. So that basically means at all levels, everything have to be lined up properly for it to be able to access these components within the cloud. That's basically what this is saying. In regards to the processing unit, RAM hardware drive must be controlled to create a functioning service system. Those who control resources must monitor how much processing power and program use and move it, or seek additional if needed, if need be. These are the requirement. Cloud architecture may be complex, but also when it comes to complexity, they also come with complexity is basically the opponent of security. It's very complex, also come with security, loss or theft of intellectual property. So when it comes to cloud, there's also security as a component to it. For example, some of the vulnerabilities that you may run into using a cloud computing, using a cloud system, is that, for example, is incorrect access limitation and credential misuse, or one of the common security issues that you may face. Contractual breach with customers or business partners, loss over the end user action. These are some of the stuff that you may face that could create a lot of security vulnerability. Unauthorized access and insecure API or the top class security issues. Security threats, misconfigured cloud storage, poor access management. Obviously, poor access management, that's one of the big ones. However, and we and to modify and to basically to be to create a system where that could help you prevent all these security vulnerabilities. Having multi-factor authentication is definitely essential in regard to compliance for security. That's one way you could modify and make up for these security vulnerabilities that the cloud does comes with. Is having multi-factor authentication must be the essential for compliance regulation standards for other clouds, for the clouds. So basically, I mean that multi-factor, basically having an in-depth security infrastructure. That's that having multi-factor authentication. That's kind of that basically is that. So that would basically make up for all these different aspects. If a company or individual is using these cloud services, is making sure that you have these things there to multi having a security in depth. Let's see. We did cover. Okay. Well, I think we covered everything. Thank you. Thank you very much.